Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started with what Elon Musk has been recently saying about an apparent financial crisis. Really, what's going on here? We have some macro charts, S&P 500, obviously, one of the indices that really determines where the market is heading, what direction it is currently in. And just take a look at this quote before we get started. Markets are never wrong, only opinions are. And I'm sure all of us know right now that everything is getting opinionated. I mean, after all, today's video is about Elon Musk's opinions about a financial crisis. And you can see over here from this trend line, a lot of opinions have been lingering around. Let's go ahead and try to understand what this even means, okay? So basically, every time there is some sort of a fear catalyst, we have an oil crash, we have a US election, we have the VIX ETF, which is basically a fear index, also just rising suddenly. And this is in 2018, which also in 2018, there were a lot of different macro factors playing out. So this definitely had a reason going for it. And then over here, we have the Fed autopilot. Then we have a trade war, and we all know what happened in 2020. I don't think we need to explain that. It's kind of self explanatory at this point. China Evergrande, I'm sure a lot of us remember that. It wasn't too long ago. Now, here we are, growth stock collapsing. And by the way, many of growth stocks are actually in a bear market. They have been for a very long time. And it's just now that people are starting to realize wait a minute, those stocks that we used to see trading at $100 are now trading at $20, even, lower than that. And then on top of that, we also have inflation and even World War III fears. But a lot of this is actually because of inflation, despite a lot of headlines talking about this factor right over here. A lot of it is because of inflation. And as soon as this headline actually got pushed away just very recently, now you hear people talking again about what is the Federal Reserve going to be doing. Is it going to be 50 basis points? Is it going to be 25? No one knows. And I didn't even explain what this red trend line meant. It is a Twitter sentiment volume. And these sentiments are not positive whatsoever. You can actually see that these are when peak is at its fear. But when you also see peak is at its fear, that's when we have some sort of a correlation with some sort of a market bottom. Now, the reason why I'm saying some sort of is because it is not going to be at the same exact time. Just because there's peak fear or a lot of fear doesn't mean that is going to be the exact time the market starts to reverse. Nonetheless, though, it indicates some sort of a reversal. Now, will that happen again and will history play out again? We will just have to wait and see because not all macroeconomic factors are out of the way yet. We still have the month of March left, which is very, very important because Jerome Powell is going to be speaking again. Now, more specifically, the financial crisis that Elon Musk has been talking about has been ever since basically the beginning of 2022 and the end of 2021. We are currently almost at the beginning of March of 2022. However, you can see in this tweet over here, he states, predicting macroeconomics is challenging, to say the least. My gut feel is maybe around spring or summer of 2022, but no later than 2023. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that he was saying this tweet and it was in regards to when are we going to be in a recession. And in this tweet over here, I'm just pointing these out because he got the absolute top. You can see over here that when he decided to sell his Tesla shares because of tax purposes, that actually marked the top. And it really makes you wonder, how did all of this play out? And don't get me wrong, this is just one example or two examples, three and four. There have been many other examples if you decide to go back with the stock's volatility. If you see a tweet that he made where he said he was going to liquidate some of his Tesla shares, that was usually a near-term top. And what do you see over here? The exact same situation play out. He also states around this same time, if history is any guide, not many will make it past the next recession. So he has been talking about a recession for quite a bit now. And over here, I just want to point this out because he stated accession, which was about actually 1 year from today ago. 1 year from today, he said accession. Now, don't try to scrutinize this a lot. Some people just thought that accession and recession were a little bit ironic because, especially the 23rd of February 2021, and now it is February 23rd of 2022. Now, the purpose of this video is not to analyze how he knew that there was going to be a market top or a market bottom, because the truth is we don't know what he was thinking when he said, so I propose selling 10% of my Tesla stock. Do you support this? And I was hearing a lot of people saying that the reason he even decided to sell 10% of his Tesla shares was because he did have these recession fears, because just a month later or a little over a month later, he comes out talking about recession. Whereas you have other people stating that the reason why he sold was unrelated to any financial crisis fears. It was simply related to financial safety, meaning that he needed to lock in some profits. Now, on top of this apparent financial crisis, you have Elon Musk going on Twitter and getting in a little bit of a contention. And basically, he tweeted, "Building a case is exactly what I've been doing." And someone responded stating, "Starting a fight with the SEC is not a great look." And then he states, "I didn't start the fight, but I will finish it." And some people are getting mad at Elon, where Tesla stock continuously decides to trade lower and lower. He starts saying all of this. Now, I want to end the video on a positive note, because I think the reason why selling pressures have been exacerbated and worsened is simply because of algorithmic trading, which is also computerized trading, not dependent on a human, but the inputs of the algorithm and the parameters of the algorithm are obviously going to have to be dependent on what a human inputs. But regardless, you guys understand what I'm trying to say. These algorithms have changed the way the market runs, and we're going to be discussing this a lot more in the next video, because again, I think that Tesla in particular, but you could say this about the entire market, is having much more selling because of these algorithms. Now, with it being said, everyone, let me know in the comment section below, do you think that Elon Musk is right, that we will have a recession pretty soon, or do you guys think he is wrong? And also, are you guys going to be picking up some Tesla shares pretty soon? Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.
You said Biden has pointedly ignored Tesla at every turn and falsely stated that, in fact, GM has led the industry rather than Tesla, when Tesla produced 300,000 EVs last quarter and GM produced 26. Well, that was what you were referring to.
Yeah, well, pointed.
It's accurate.
It's so. Yeah, it is accurate.
It is accurate. I mean, the administration is not including him because of the unionized.
Right. It's a unionized president. Right. By the way, there's longshoreman talks coming up. You want to see what a union can do?
Right.
Yeah.
I understand why he. I mean, listen, he's. I mean, come on. How can you not include Elon Musk in the conversation?
I don't know. It is peculiar. Elon Musk is a great. I mean, the guy's American. I mean, he's our team. He's our team.
Well, he's South African, but yes.
No, but saying he does it in America.
Yes.
He works for the plant's here. A lot of people get employment here. It's been a big win, and it's ours. That's what I meant. I know South Africa. It's ours. So, like, even though it's non-union,
Once
it's
again,
ours.
we've benefited from immigration.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to make a high-minded point.
I
can be high-minded.
Easy point to make.
I have no problem being high-minded.
Pretty clear cut to me.
Yeah, it does.
Look, it's an interesting moment because the president is perceived by many business people as on the other side of cabinet.
He doesn't have a lot of people in his cabinet, if any, who actually have business experience.
Ginny Raimondo.
I hear that a lot.
Commerce.
People like Ginny Raimondo from Commerce. She was the governor of Rhode Island.
But she's venture capitalist.
Yeah, so she has some. But beyond that, there's a lack of it, and that's disturbing to some of the business community, which you can understand. And you can understand why Musk is like, come on, why do you keep talking about all the other guys and not us?
Well, also, when you speak to executives, the president seems uniquely uncomfortable with CEOs. And I don't think that's necessarily because he doesn't like them. I think he just has been very cloistered. He's not familiar with them. I remember when I used to speak to him in the old days, he actually took some pride in not knowing about the stock market.
Really? He was a senator for so long. He didn't have any exposure to corporate America? And as the vice president, too?
No, he wasn't comfortable. That's okay. You can always get comfortable, right? You can say, hey, you know what, I'm going to make this a project. It doesn't have to.